So again, we're going to discuss global mission progress, celebrate our achievements, and update launch as well. So first, our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs speak fluent English. And so the question is, how are we going to achieve that mission? But first, I wanted to share a quick story. So 4 months ago, we started our community. So this was the first post that I've ever made, and it was called "This is the beginning of something global." And we only had 10 people back then. I believe it was Andrea, Javeria, Ang, um, also David, and some other people as well. So it was the beginning of our journey. And after 4 months, we reached more than 170 globalpreneurs in our community, more than 170 people. And so our goal before 2026 is to reach 1,000 globalpreneurs, and we want to help them speak fluent English. So the question is how? How are we going to do that? Well, actually, the real question is who? Because, of course, we know that we want to help globalpreneurs, we want to help entrepreneurs and creators improve their spoken English, we want to help freelancers, creators, entrepreneurs. But who do we want to help? Like, who is our avatar? Well, we want to help more people, and we want to help specifically people like Roberto, Ang, and Andrea. So Ang and Andrea are on this call, so that's amazing. And so, because Andrea, Roberto, and Ang achieved amazing results in their English. So Andrea went from speaking on one of his first ever English calls to recording 15 plus videos in English, doing more than 10 networking calls with strangers in English, and he also started his own school community and achieved better pronunciation and fluency in his English. Then we have Roberto. So congratulations, Roberto. Unfortunately, he's not on this call, but he went from speaking on his first ever English call to recording 15 plus videos in English, understanding 95% of content in English in his niche, and he also achieved better pronunciation and fluency as well. Then we have Ang. So Ang, congratulations. He went from one of his first ever English calls to speaking fluently on calls, recording 10 plus videos, joining his first job interview in English, and getting amazing global opportunities. And now he feels confident in spontaneous interactions, and he achieved good pronunciation and clarity in his English. So we want more people to achieve the level of Ang, Andrea, and Roberto. And also, I want to talk about the crazy beast. So this is the guy inside of our community, and his name is Ivaldo. So Ivaldo actually accomplished a really big goal as well. So he made more than 26 videos in English in 2 months to prove that hard work can make you fluent really, really fast. I mean, 26 videos, it's a lot, right? He had to post almost every single day. And so here are all the videos that he has made. And his plan is to make 250 videos in English in total. And so pretty soon we're going to do an interview together where I'm going to interview him and ask about his progress after 2 months of recording videos in English. So then we also have achievements from other people as well. So first it's Uzar, then Pedro. They also achieved one amazing outcome, which is they recorded their first ever videos in English. And that's an amazing thing to do. I mean, for me, it took about 3 months to record my first video in English. Like, that was a long time frame. And so Uzar and Pedro followed our footsteps of other people inside of our community, and they recorded their first videos in English too. And so Pedro was just talking about himself and his goals in his first video. It was like a welcome video for him. And Uzar, I like this thumbnail. He talked about productivity in his first videos because he wants to become a productivity coach and help people with their productivity. And he wants to help people beat procrastination as well. So that's amazing. Congratulations, guys. And so the question is, I don't have a topic to talk about. Like, a lot of people struggle with the topic, like they just don't know what to talk about, and it seems like, it's very difficult to record yourself on camera because you don't really know what to talk about. So the solution to this problem is to just talk about your favorite topics. For example, Ivaldo just talks about his life, like he got a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, right? Sometimes he talks about books that he read in English. Uh, Uzar also talks about his favorite topics like productivity. He just talks about his life. He shares some stories from his life, which is amazing. Then Ang just likes to talk about different books, about self improvement, about David Goggins and stuff like that. And Andrea talks about um, holistic life design, self improvement, and copywriting, which are his favorite topics. So that's amazing. So this is the solution to this problem, which is if you don't have a topic to talk about on camera, just talk about your favorite topics and talk about books that you have read, things that you want to do, about your goals, about your achievements, and stuff like that. And so then we also have some other achievements. So Alexandra, she joined our community also in the beginning. She was one of our first 10 members. And so she said that she is very grateful for joining speaking clubs inside of our community because it unlocked speaking English for her. And so she hosted her first ever call inside the editing community she is in. So she's very grateful for that, and that's amazing because it was her first ever call in English inside of our community. And then after a couple of weeks or months, she was able to host her own call. So that's an amazing achievement as well. Then we have again Ivaldo, Andrea, Javeria, and Uzar, and they have achieved level 6. So Javeria, Ivaldo, and Andrea have achieved level 6 this month, and Uzar have achieved level 5 in our community. So congratulations for that too. Amazing achievements. And also I wanted to welcome in new members. So first Natalia, Reza, hi. You're in the call. That's amazing. Then we also have Gav Karoy. I hope I pronounced that right. Then we also have Shahadat who joined our community. Welcome. Philip, Kajal, and Nati. So these people joined our community this or previous week. And also, I wanted to talk about the leaderboard, the 30-day leaderboard inside of our community. So these are also some of the achievements. So Ang, Uzar, and Javeria, congratulations, guys, for being on top of the leaderboard. So Ang is first, Uzar is second, and Javeria is third. So that's amazing. And so again, I wanted to say that again, that our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs speak fluent English. And so now we answered the question, who? Now we know the people that we want to help. The next question is how? How are we going to help them? Right? We launched Questions Game, English Library, and English News. And also today I'm launching Feedback Bank. There are 3 things that are in progress as well. So first, I wanted to start with Questions Game. So I was watching this podcast, which was called AB Talks. So this was a podcast with Chris Martin. He's like a singer, and I really like his songs. Basically, it's Coldplay singer. You probably know about this group. And so at the end of the podcast, they simply pulled out some random questions. How do I say? Like random cards with questions. And so Chris Martin had to pick one random question. And then he had to answer that question. So the questions were completely random and they were about his life. And so I was very inspired by that. And I was like, you know what? We can do that inside of our community. So that's exactly what I decided to do. And I decided to add that inside our weekly speaking calls. So I took this idea and everybody enjoyed it. Echeverria, Ozar, me, Pedro, Kajal, and Angli was on the last call, and we did this our first time, which is amazing. So again, there was no preparation. We didn't prepare for that. And I was just simply giving people 2 different choices, like the first one or the second one, and they had to choose a totally random question. And they had to spontaneously speak about that. So that was pretty tough, right? So this was the first thing, which is questions game. Then the second thing is Global English Library. So what is that? Well, I've put 10 plus hours of content to help you speak English fluently inside Global English Library. So this is like a section in our classroom where I put all the different guides, all different courses, 1-hour guides, some of my videos as well, where I basically share everything you need to know to improve your spoken English and speak English fluently. So that's another amazing thing that I've added inside the community, but that's not the big stuff. Big stuff is coming pretty soon. So then we also launched Global English News. That's what we're doing right now, basically. And this is our first episode of Global English News. And we're planning to do them 2 times per month. And so we'll continue talking about updates, goals, and have fun, just like we're doing today. And so news will be a separate event. So we're not going to do them on Saturday because on Saturday we have speaking calls and like we still want to do speaking calls, right? So we're going to do global English news on Wednesdays probably, and they're going to be at the same time, which is 3 p.m. And so now we've discussed global English news, global English library, and now let's talk about feedback bank. So this is another thing that I wanted to share, which is if you have a great idea, you can send it to me. So if the idea is really good, we will implement it on the next call as soon as possible, and I will include you in the next global English news. So what I mean by this is that if you have a great idea, if you want something to be inside the community, if you want some kind of feature, or if you want to add something to speaking calls or to any part of our community, just send this idea to me and I will implement it as soon as possible if that idea is amazing. So we can implement it in our community and make our community even better. And so a few days ago, I actually wanted to tell a quick story. Tori reached out to me. And so she's an English coach for Vietnamese professionals. She joined our community maybe like a couple of weeks ago. And she's an English coach for Vietnamese professionals, like for people like Ang. And so we thought of collaborating together. So we went on a call together and we were discussing a lot of stuff. I think that call was 1 hour long. And so we were discussing a lot of things because she also created her own school community where she supports Vietnamese professionals with their English. So she helps them go from like a beginner level to a conversational level where they can start speaking with native speakers. And so we thought of collaborating together and doing more speaking calls for everyone. So for example, she can do speaking calls in our community. So we have 2 weekly speaking calls instead of 1. And I can do speaking calls inside of her community. So that was just one of the examples of how feedback and how different ideas can improve our community and other communities as well. And of course, your life. So then this is what we already shipped. This is what's inside the community right now. So questions game, English library, English news, and feedback bank. And so there are 3 things in progress as well. We're working on them right now, and they are even more exciting. The first one is global English ads. The second one is school equals YouTube. So I'm going to explain what it means in a second. And then presentation practice. So these are 3 things that we're working on right now. And so let's talk about global English ads. So this is how we're going to let people know about our community. Because right now we have 170 members, but we want to get to 1,000 people and we want to help them improve their spoken English, right? And I mean, that's a pretty difficult goal to achieve, but we can certainly do that. And so right now, me and Andrew, we're working on making sick ads for our community. And soon we're going to be filming them. Actually, we're going to be filming them today, and I'm going to make a post inside the community as well. And so I printed these, icons or pictures for our community, global English and stuff like that. And so we're going to use these stickers to film funny ads, and I'm going to explain how they're going to look like. So they will be similar to what Alex Hormozy is doing with his $100 million money models. So he was making like funny short videos, like reels or TikToks, where he was talking about his book launch. And so I'm going to do something similar, and I'm going to put these things inside of my videos. So we're going to film these shorts and then put them inside of my videos and make them super fun to watch so people just want to join our community, right? And then another thing is school equals YouTube. So now before publishing some of my videos on YouTube, I will first do a live masterclass on school. So what I mean by this is that instead of just simply posting a video on YouTube and throwing it into the void, I'm going to create a masterclass. And so I'm going to film that masterclass. I'm going to record this masterclass. And on that masterclass, I'm going to give you a lot of valuable insights on how to improve your spoken English. And so the description is in this live masterclass, this is going to be our first live masterclass. you will learn how to apply consume, speak, and feedback method to enhance your pronunciation and spoken English. So this is going to be our first masterclass. I don't know about the date, but probably it's going to be somewhere around October 7th at 3 p.m. as usual. So we're going to do this masterclass. Maybe it's going to be part of Global English News. And on that masterclass, we're just basically going to discuss how you can improve your spoken English and your communication skills as well. So this is the masterclass, and this way I will make these videos more personalized and valuable for you. So what I mean by this is that I'm going to talk about something for 10 minutes, and then you can ask me any questions about that topic so we can make that video even more personalized and more valuable for you. So we can apply that specifically to your situation. And then you can ask me any questions on that call, and we will create the best content for entrepreneurs out there. And so this is the Global English Masterclass, and we have one more thing to talk about. So as entrepreneurs, we all want to present our ideas to others. But we have never practiced doing that before, right? We have never practiced, let's say, going on a call and presenting something to others. I mean, probably some of you have already tried doing that. Some of you have already tried presenting offers or going on sales calls or something like that. But most of us never tried public speaking, at least in English, right? Maybe you have tried that in your native language, but doing that in English feels scary, right? It feels scary to give a presentation or like a small talk. And so we're going to do presentation practice. Of course, this is for people who absolutely want that and who are ready to do that. And so Andrew, yeah, my friend, gives me a lot of great ideas. And so he also gave me another great idea to do a presentation practice for non-native speakers in a safe environment. So what I mean by this is that we're going to do presentation practice. These are going to be like speaking calls where we're going to do these presentations. And basically, here's how it works. I announce topics for presentations first, then participants prepare a presentation in their unique style. So first I'm gonna announce the topics for presentations inside the community before, like 1 week or 2 weeks before the presentation practice. Then participants prepare a presentation in their unique style. And then when the presentation practice is going to happen on that day, everyone shows their presentation on the call and speaks about it. So that's how it's going to work. And it's a unique opportunity for you to talk about your favorite topics, to talk about yourself, to practice giving presentations. And also, it's also an amazing way to advertise yourself, right? You can advertise yourself through presentations. You can talk about yourself, and you can also advertise your own community. If you have a school community, maybe your own YouTube channel or your own brand inside these presentations practices as well. And so, again, this is how it looks like. And so these were all the things that I wanted to share with you guys in these English Global News. And so again, we launched 4 different things, which is questions game, English library, English news, feedback, bank. Then in progress, things that we're working on right now, global English ads, school equals YouTube, and presentation practice. And so this is how we're going to help 1 million entrepreneurs speak fluent English.